Hey guys, Karibo Bros here, back with Ant's 15th BA deck profile for this channel. There's been a ban list. There's 3 changes to this deck, so mandatory make a video. Yeah, and so what did we get, mate? What did we get off the list?
We got Graph and Tater 3.
Hooray! So yeah, just walk us through the list and tell us. Yeah, just give me 10 minutes of content.
Yeah, so basically we still play Trap BA because it's like the best version outside of, well, best version of pure BA outside of like Phantom Knights, because Phantom Knights are crazy, but you know, this is nice and cheap, so we'll play this. We'll get straight into it. We play, so some of the ratios have changed a little. So we play 3 Scarm still as always. We play 3 Seer.
Mm-hmm.
We 3 Graph.
Ooh.
And then that's where the 3 elves stop.
The ban list was kind.
We now only play 2 Farfa because these essentially are these, and we still want to search tour guide and blah 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 blah. So basically, these are the now ratios, and we play 1 Alec, 1 Barbar, Telcap, and a Libic. We've cut Rubik. I think the last list on your channel might have been where you tour guide into Rubik and then make Hulk, and then Hulk summons Effect Veil, and then Effect Veil goes into Celine, you summon 1 back and make access code talker, and it's all nice and that, but it's just like it requires you to play a really bad card in Veiler, and Veiler's just a bit crap at the minute with TTT, and it doesn't really do a lot. Like Gamma and Nibiru are like the best hand traps this format. So yeah, Veiler's not really that good. So that's why we play them. So that's it for the BAs. So nice counter BAs. Then we play 3 tour guide. Basically just best monster in the deck, get you any of your BAs for any situation. It's just really good. I also found out that if you do not play the next card at all, that this deck is really bad. So I tried playing this deck without Rhino in it, and it's horrific because it's already bad enough if this deck gets Nibiru'd. But if you have a Nibiru token or have a Nibiru yourself, you can't play this deck because like all the BAs just die as soon as you summon them, and it's just worthless. So you just have to play really bad Caveman Yugioh, and at that point you're just losing. Whereas this allows you to play the game. If you normal list and special one, you can still play because this stops fiends from being destroyed by card effects or battle. So Rhino is really important, and it helps facilitate the backjack as well. And it's just another 3 copies of Graph, another 3 copies of basically every BA. And getting to backjack, I know we only play 1 of it now, but you don't really want to see this card in your open hand. It's not bad. If you have a play, it's not bad. But when you don't have a play, you're literally stuck to setting the backjack and setting some traps and kind of slow rolling it until you get a play. But just to minimise the fact that we're going to draw this, is just put it at 1, because we basically play another 3 copies of it with Rhino. So Rhino is really good in this deck. And I regret taking it out. But yeah, after some thorough testing, Rhino comes straight back into it. So that's it for the supporting cards. And then we only play 3 hand traps, and they're very generic. 3 Ash. Everyone should just have a playset of these now. They're like £5, like $6 or something like that for 1, so they're not too expensive anymore. But we play this over Nibiru in the main because it hits everything, whereas Nibiru doesn't. Regardless of its impact, it's still a very good card. And as I say, like, we want to go blind second with this deck because we are playing traps and we are playing quite a lot of them. So blind second, blind first we're going with this. So yeah, Ash is just pretty staple. We do play Nibiru, it is on the side, so we play no spells. We don't play Foolish because it's literally just like, I'd rather see the Graph in my hand to normal it and play around Ash in that sense and get some kind of board presence. So Foolish is okay, it's just like, you can cut it, you don't really need it anymore because you're not like having to search for a Graph. There's so many ways to get into Graph or C now, there's literally no point in playing it. So we play 3 Lost Wind. This really should just be IDP, Ice Dragon's Prison. That card is insane. But yeah, they're like 30 quid each, and I haven't bought them yet, so I might treat myself for Christmas, I guess. But yeah, Lost Wind's not too bad. It's just effect negation, and it can reoccur. It's very slow to reoccur, obviously, but if we mill it and they summon Extract Monster in this turn, we just get to set this, and it's another sort of piece of interruption or helps us with our plays turn 3, I guess. Then we play 3 Dynamicious, which is literally one of the best straps in this deck. It doesn't discard as cost. I mean, it's not relevant in BA, it's only relevant in Shadal, but it's nice. We get to keep our resources, even if they somewhat have a negation for this. But just generic good spot removal. Hits all face-up cards, not just monsters like Karma Cut. So this is really good. Fiend Griefing kind of rivals the Dynamicious for being the best strap in this. It is insane. If you open this and literally like a really shitty play, this kind of gets you a tour guide in the end phase. If you send Scarm, it can far for them and hit a card in the graveyard. Or you can even send Backjack and try and hit another trap as well. So Fiend Griefing is just insane card. Like, just so good. Like in the Eldritch matchup, this just wins you the game because all the Eldritch spells and traps, mostly the traps, need Golden Lord on field to resolve fully and get the full effect, rather than just being a stupid trap that summons. You can just shuffle back the Golden Lord. Like if they go Golden Lord, send another card, and it's self to grave to target a Beatrice, you just chain Beatrice, you send Scarm or a Backjack. And you're like, okay, let them send the Beatrice. And if you have this set, like as soon as they go to activate it and send one from the field, you just chain it and put it back into the deck, and then they just lose, basically. They have to like kind of play catch up, and you're like tour guide next day and slap it down. If they haven't got Sanguine, you know, it's game over. Trap Trick, it's just another 3 copies of every trap in the deck. It's very good. There is like kind of like, the reason we're not playing 2 elves is because we are going to mill cards with Dante, so it makes sense to just play 3 elves and Trap Trick, so we at least be able to get what we want when we want, in case, unless we get really unlucky and mill like 2 Fiend Griefing. And Imperm. Just a very good trap. This is kind of fallen out of favour, I feel, but it's still very good. Like, there's not many very good normal traps that fit in this meta, so this is just standard generic effect negation. So yeah, Imperm's very good. That is a 40 card list. Moving on to the extra deck, Beatrice and 2 Dante. You could play 3 Dante. It very rarely comes up, but you know, when it does come up, it obviously comes up. But I think I'd rather play more flex spots in the extra deck and just play 2 of them. If you manage your resources well, you can just play Dante at 2. Levier. Again, it very rarely comes up because you're not really banishing anything outside of BAs with Barbar or Blackjack. And the fact that you play 3 graphs, 3 seer now, you really don't need this. But what is nice is you can recycle the Backjack and then make an IP with this. So if you go tour guide after using Backjack, you can make this detach Rhino, send Scarm, bring back the Backjack, and then literally link into an IP. Or you can send C and summon a Dante back. It's niche. It's very niche, but you know, it very rarely comes up, so this could be cut. Pilgrim has to stay in the deck. It's just insane when people just obnoxiously pop Beatrice and don't realise that this card exists. Gravity Controller, it's like, if you open Seer, any other BA that isn't Graph, like this is then good. But the chances of you hitting a Graph now are so high that you could probably get away with playing this, but it's, again, a bit like Levier's niche. It will come up every now and then, so I think it's worth playing, because the players normal Seer, summon a BA, make Dante in the extra monster zone, link it, detach. If you don't hit a Graph or a Rhino, you link into this, and then you can make Beatrice with literally 2 BAs. It's like the old Underclock Taker thing, but just a link one instead. IP, literally the most abused link monster in this deck. It's just insane. Like your standard board, if you open like Tour Guide, Graph, Rhino, any other BA, any sort of combination of them is like IP Beatrice with 1 material and hopefully a trap. And it's usually quite good enough because you can recycle. What's nice about IP is you can make IP, like burn your Beatrice effect first, add back off Dante the Seer, then link the Beatrice and the IP off a Unicorn discard Seer, swim back the Dante. And if they don't do anything else that turn, you literally go main phase of your turn, make access code Talker with the Unicorn and the Dante, add back off Dante, gain 3k on access code and punch for game. It's like, you know, just so much pressure built up in like basically 1 IP. Cherubini, we are playing this now because I've realised it's actually a very good card. it's a niche card that comes up in certain situations. Like if you know they've got no Nibiru, then this is very good. But like trying to play around Nibiru is kind of like the format at the minute. So it's very rarely you'll do this, but you have to be ultra confident to play this. So essentially, Tour Guide gets you like this, and then being able to link climb from just the Tour Guide into like access code with this is very good, and you will get more resources as well. So you can set up a Scarm, you can set up a Blackjack through this as well if you send Rhino. So this is essentially really good. So you can send like, you can Tour Guide for Graph, make this Graph summon Seer to a zone, then you can send like a Rhino, put a Scarm in there or a Blackjack, link these off. It's like obviously post Dante, like summon, link these off into a 3 and then summon Dante and then link them off into a 4. So it helps you climb. So it's, you know, it's okay. It's not as good as in pure BA as it is in Phantom Knight. So basically the Nightmare package as well. It's just very standard for this deck, and it always has been since like these came out. Like just throw them in BA because they're just utility cards. This is so questionable. I'd probably play Zeus over this. The XYZ monster. Just as an out to like Dragoon. It's very difficult to make it in this deck, to be fair. Like you have to like make Gravity Control and then a Nightmare and then make this because it requires 2 links. So it's hard to make this. So this will just get cut. But it was like a last minute thing to put in for Dragoon, and it doesn't come up. Trisbana, what a card. Like again, this and Zereboros just find the way into this deck because they are just amazing. This is just so broken against back row and BA. Just a free smash onto the zone. It gets destroyed before it gets banished because it dies by game mechanics. And then this still triggers because it realises monsters was special summoned and it doesn't have to banish the back row. So it's very good. Same for this. This actually outs Nibiru, not Nibiru, Dragoon. But it's like you have to do so many, you have to fly through so many whole loops to get to this to be able to make Dragoon, be able to get rid of Dragoon. So it's good. It's an out to annoying cards, and it kind of resets the game, which is good for BA because, you know, we like being in a simplified game state, and then access code talker because literally the best card in the extra deck. Just helps you get there, helps you get so much pressure. You only really get like 1 pop a turn with it because most of the time the extract monster you send into Graveyard Dark, like it's only if you ever make Cerberus or Phoenix like partway through making this, then you get 2. So that's it for the extra.
So as you say, there does seem to be a bit of flexibility within the extra deck that you've got currently. Most
definitely, yeah. Like the cards for like cut are like this. I'd probably say there's like there's 13 mandatory cards you have to play in this, and these are like the 2 you can cut. So I'd play Zeus, and I'd probably Zeus and like Engineer. So Equip Engineer, the rank 3. It attaches and either player's turn to target face-up attack, switch to defense, can't destroy a battle. I think that's turn. Battle or card effect. It's basically like another Beatrice. And then Zeus would be really good because like turn 3 when you make Dante, detach, attack, switch to defense, and then you literally have nothing else other than traps. You can make a Zeus, sit on the Zeus, use all your traps. Or if you have no traps, you can make Zeus and then just kind of reset the board. And again, BA are better once the game's reset into a simplified game state because we're just going to keep out grinding. So Zeus and Engineer probably come up more than these 2.
So you played some remote duel tournaments over the last 2 nights, haven't you?
I sure have.
So what were the most common matchups you were seeing, and why is BA good against like the decks that have been played most commonly?
So the thing with BA is like resource management. If you can, it's like a pseudo combo, pseudo control deck.
So a bit like Saladin.
A bit like Saladin, yeah. So you're just trying to control the game state to where you can keep doing things and you limit what your opponent can do. Basically just Yu-Gi-Oh! And control Yu-Gi-Oh! It's not like you're making these massive combo boards where you're setting up 4 negates and 3 negates and just blowing your opponent out to sheer advantage. Like, you have to be good at resource management in this deck because you will just lose. Like, you can't just like blow everything into like trying to kill them and then get Nibiru and then pass because you have nothing else. You have to play around Nibiru in this deck. You have to like use your traps at the right time. You have to understand that when the best time to activate things are. BA naturally is good at grinding and will get you there, but you're only going to keep looping Seer and Dante, and there's only so much you can do with that. so it's important. So like the matchups I would face were like a Dogmatica, Invoked, Eldritch, Dragon Link, Orcust. Like a lot of it, like Zoo's the big one. Like Zoo can't play if you get rid of their normal summon. So with traps like Fiend Griffin where you can far for them, or Beatrice where you can far for them, or Dynamicious where you can banish the normal summon, they just go past. They'll set like a Book of Moon pass, and you can play around a Book of Moon quite easily. Like it's annoying, but like you still can link play and just kind of make your way through the board and set up like a Farfa again. So it's kind of funny against Zoo. Like Eldritch is just a buy because it just is, because you make Trisbane, and if they haven't got Golden Lord, the traps are crap and they get no resource management off the traps. So Dogmatica and Invoked, it's just like playing against the Invoked really. Like they have a couple of niche cards like punishments and things like that, but you can just play around punishments like to a degree. So yeah, there's not too many hard matchups. It's just like playing BA in general just is hard because all the decks just acquire so much mass advantage that yeah, it's hard to keep up. So you have to blind first and play traps and hope to see them. That's why the side deck is the way it is. So we play 3 Lancia because they're literally one of the better hand traps this format. It hits Dino, it hits excuse me. A big one that hits Dino, hits Dragon Link to a degree. Eldritch, it's not too bad against. They don't get to resource the traps, so it's okay against them other matchups. But it's specifically there for Dino. It's just ridiculous because they can't miss. So if you can stop the overlap, they just lose. 3 Skullmeister, very good against Virtual World. Just stopping Virtual World cards in the graveyard seems pretty good. 3 Nibiru because it is like staple this format to play Nibiru. It's just like combo decks are mad. Even like Zoo Eldritch may summon more than 5 times to be able to get rid of the Zoo cards is kind of prominent. Dragon Link, it's not great against, well, I say it's not great against Dragon Link. Like Dragon Link can play around this quite well because they have so much resources, but a well-timed one of these, or if you open this and then burn, it's just game, or this and Ash, it's game. So I'd say these are the staple hand traps outside of Gamma. Gamma's really good, but I just think in this deck it's not too great. Like going second, you could probably play it, and it is really impactful, but I just don't like playing bricks, so I'd rather play these. These are really important in this format. You can play any card use, basically any card that fits the bill of your deck. Like I play these because they're all smaller than Pilgrim, but like this is bigger than Beatrice, so Beatrice can beat over these two. But you can crash Beatrice into this and summon Pilgrim and then attack over this. So it's not too bad. But yeah, these come up because you have to play against Dragoon. And then Galaxy Cyclone. It's just very good against Eldritch, like the traps. And we seem to be moving to somewhat... Outside of combo, we keep moving to more of a control-based like game. So hitting Unchained back row is really good at this. Hitting... Just generic, like this is good against Virtual World as well. If you go spell without normal summon, and if you hit the spell, the likelihood is that they haven't got a great normal summon, and then their board's going to be a little bit more subdued to hand traps and back row and stuff. So, pretty standard. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the BA deck list.
So to round it up, same as last time: cheap, fun, can spend money to make it better, and heavily resource intensive.
Yeah, like it's a good deck that just teaches you like how to resource manage, I guess. And yeah, it's fun. This deck just seems to never go anywhere, and more now than ever is coming back into some kind of like
tier 2.
I wouldn't put it in anywhere in the. I don't think it's
rest of the pile.
It's clearly a rogue deck, and that's just the way like it goes. But BA is a very solid deck. Like the fundamentals are there. Like if you want to learn how to play Yugioh well, I guess. So yeah, pick up BA.
Same as always, guys. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe.